Welcome to the show.
This guy got a mistletoe belt on.
Gosh, that is bad.
The whole plane smells like weed.
Those were the days.
It's a joke, you idiot. Looked in the mirror, I'm like,
Good old innocent fun. Welcome back, everybody, to Troublemakers, the podcast where each week we bring on a guest and they tell crazy stories about their lives. I'm your host, Dylan Krasinski, coming to you from a beautiful day in Astoria, Queens. With me, as always, is my wonderful co-host, the man with the plan, my number two, the big dog, Mr. Ray Zawadney.
Yay, that's me, Dylan.
Coming in hot.
Dylan, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. And thank you, everybody who has listened to us all of 2023.
Woo!
Our amazing Troublemakers listeners. We love you so goddamn much. Thank you. If you have been watching us on YouTube, watching those full video episodes, make sure to share those with your friends.
Share them with your friends.
Or just share some of our shorts, some of our reels, all of that content that my man Dylan works so hard on. Seriously, I don't thank you enough, actually. You do kick ass all year long, making us look good and making our guests look good. And if you are one of our audio listeners and you are listening to us in the car, listen to us while you're on the treadmill, probably in a week you're going to be listening to us on the treadmill because you are getting those 2024 bods ready. Make sure to do us a huge favor and leave us a rating and or a review on any of the streaming platforms that you use. If you are going to leave us a rating, that we do ask that you make it a 5-star rating. Please. Nothing less than 5 stars. You do know that I check that very frequently to make sure that nobody is trying to pull a flim-flam on me and slip me a less than 5-star review. If you send us anything that is sub 5-star, what I want you to do is I want you to leave that 5-star comment or that 4-star or that 4-star review or that 3-star review or whatever you want to fucking do, and then you can meet me outside of Othello Deli.
Oh shit.
That's right in my neighborhood. My girlfriend said I'm not allowed to give out my address anymore, but meet me outside of Othello Deli. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna grab myself a fucking water. I'm gonna hydrate up. I'm going to be there before you because early bird gets the worm, and I'm always early, and I'm always fucking, I'm on my Mark Wahlberg shit. I was probably up fucking exercising at 4 a.m. that day. So you can meet me there. We'll figure it out. Slide in my DMs after you give me that fucking shitty review that we didn't deserve, that shitty rating that we didn't deserve, and we're going to fight outside of Othello Deli. Spoiler alert, I'm going to fucking win. I'm going to kick your ass. And then, because also over Christmas, I'm going to be playing with that ball toy that I talked about on last episode.
Boxing away.
That's helping me fight. And then I'm going to go inside Othello Deli, and I'm going to get myself just some cold cuts and cheese because I'm off the bread and off the carbs in 2024.
Ooh, getting healthy, getting ripped, getting ready.
So fuck you. Say. And we got a very special episode just for the people that think we're a 5-star podcast. If you think that we're a 4-star podcast, stop listening right now.
I'll tell you this. Hey, 52 weeks this year. We have not missed an episode. That's 52 free episodes for you, baby.
Free.
We've never missed an episode. That's impressive.
Holy tits.
Never missed a week.
Good for us.
That's pretty good. I don't like to brag, but I will. But this week, like we did last year, one of our best episodes, one of our most popular episodes. So we said, hey, we'll do it again. I know a lot of people don't like this sometimes. They want it new. They want it fresh. But we're going to do a compilation episode. So stories from our best guests, our funniest stories. You can find links to all the comics who are in these stories below. I'll put their Instagram handles. I'll also put timestamps for when the stories are because I'm a nice guy and I'm thinking about you. And if you guys could do us a favor, if you have a friend, if you have one friend that you like.
2 friends.
2 friends, whatever you can do. If you take this podcast, this compilation episode, because I think it's a great way to get people into the podcast.
Yes, you know what? There might be some people like, well, I can't just start listening to episode 115. I don't know what happened in all the previous episodes. Well, first of all, it's not that type of fucking podcast.
Yeah, we're not a serial.
But it is the perfect way to be like, hey, here's a little taste.
Couple
tastes.
Send it to a friend. Anybody who listens, send it to 1 or 2 friends. Send it to 2 friends.
2 friends.
We could triple our listeners overnight.
Send it to 2 friends and 1 family member.
That's all. It's totally free to do. If you could do that, we'd really appreciate it. If you're one of our loyal listeners, one of our OGs from the beginning, we appreciate you. And let's get into the episode, huh? Have a happy new year, baby.
I did try to go to this place called Kit Kat, which Kit Kat is this like crazy, like it's a nightclub, but also like a sex fetish thing. So I was like, I gotta go check this place out. Okay. Like my buddy told me that he went and there was like people having sex, like there was like fucking orgies going on. He said there was a lady playing the harp while she was masturbating. And I was like, I gotta see this shit. So I had like a whole week build up to go to Kit Kat. Like I was like finding who I was going to go with. Then it's also, you have to like look the part. You can't just show up in jeans and a t-shirt. So I bought like black pants and like a white wife beater. And I was like,
nipple clamps.
White wife beater.
I was like, I'm getting in. And so me and I met a bunch of comics down there because I did some shows, which honestly, if you go to Berlin, they have a great comedy scene. The like fastest growing English speaking comedy scene in all of mainland Europe. Yeah,
that's great.
Only second to like the UK. But so it's a great way to like, you go do some shows, meet the comics, and they'll show you all the cool shit to do. So like me and this other comic who I met out there, this dude from New Zealand, we're like, we're getting into Kit Kat, we're getting in. So we fucking get down there. We get to like where Kit Kat is, where there's a bunch of clubs around there. We're looking, we find the entrance, and there's like some wild people outside, all dudes, and we're like, all seems like gay dudes. And there's literally a dude who's like just in like leather straps and like a cock piece. We're like, he's probably going.
Hey, do you think he's going to the same place we're going? Yeah, let's.
So we go to the front, and the guy goes, Deutsch or English? And we're like, English. And he goes, okay, boys, it's Renegade Night. So they have like different themed nights.
Okay.
And we're like, okay, Renegade Night. We're like, sure, what's that? He goes, it's primarily a gay fetish night. And he's like, are you guys gay? And we're both like, no. He just is like, it's not the night for you guys. And so we don't get in. We don't go.
Yo, I am going to use anytime like one of my boys plays like a song I don't like, I'm like, dog, it's not Renegade Night. Come on, man.
That really is the funniest thing.
You're playing that song like it's Renegade Night.
Don't be such a renegade, dude.
Dude. Of all the nights we could have gone, all the nights.
It's so funny that it's called Renegade.
Renegade is like, yo, you better be ready for some wild shit.
I'm not gonna lie, calling it Kit Kat Night sounds way more gay than calling it Renegade Night.
Well, Kit Kat's the name of the club.
I know. Yeah.
Wait, so when you said you weren't gay, they were like, you got to hit the brakes.
They were like, yeah, you don't get it.
So if you would have been like, no, I'm not gay, and he was like, all right, if you want to pop in and look around, would you go in?
Part of me, that's what we were like. It was such a flash of the moment. And the thing is, the bouncers at Berkheim and Kit Kat are much more Berkheim than Kit Kat, but they're like strict on who they let in. Like, like you can wait in line for 5 hours at Berkheim to get in, and then be like, no, you don't get in. And not even like, oh, it's a gay night, or like Berkheim's a gay club, but it's so popular, like everyone fucking goes. But it's just like, you don't look the part. You're a fucking poser. You're not getting in. They're trying to cultivate like a cool aesthetic or whatever in there of people who like really like this like industrial hardcore techno.
So when I go in there like a fat asshole with my Steelers jersey on, they're like,
I'll tell you this, I'm probably not getting in. I probably am not getting in. Ray's definitely not getting in.
When I go there and just sit at the bar and try to like talk to people, and they're like, you gotta be up dancing. Get the fuck out of here.
That's why we like got the outfits. like we got it. What the fuck?
You should have busted out your straps, just straight up. Can you imagine?
Just leather straps just over the nips. But I wouldn't have gone in, because like if you go in, you're hanging out, and then it's gay fetish night, and some dude comes up and grabs me, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? He's gonna be like, why the fuck are you in here?
Yes, you're the asshole.
Yeah,
this
I'm
is
the
what's
asshole.
supposed to happen.
Exactly.
Have you ever been arrested?
Yes.
Have you?
Oh, dude.
How many times? More than once?
Just
Once.
once. And it was when I was driving from Boston to LA. I was moving.
This is like
Yeah,
recent.
you hadn't heard this. So,
Holy shit.
So I got arrested in West Texas, in Abilene, Texas, about 2.5 hours west of Fort Worth for class 2 felony drug possession. And there's only 3 classes of crimes in Texas. 3 is like murders in that category. I was one step below. And the reason was I got pulled over for speeding. Bullshit. It was really just I had mass plates driving through West Texas. They're taking a chance. Guys like, where you headed to? I'm like, oh, I'm moving to LA. Just driving, had all the stuff in my car. I was like, oh, really? Yeah. Like, what are you doing? I'm going to be a comedian. Oh, cool. It's like, I smell pot in the car. I'm like, no, you don't. He goes, what? I said, no, you don't. It's a brand new car. I haven't smoked weed in it yet. He goes, well, I said I smell it. I have probable cause. And I'm like, well, you always have probable cause. I can't say you don't smell. Like, I can't prove that you don't smell it. So of course, he said, I can get the dogs out here, or you can show me where the weed is. I'm like, all right. So I had a bag. It was in my trunk.
Yeah.
I wasn't high at the time. Hand him the bag, and it was 6 chocolate bars. He's like, all right. Yeah.
Chocolate bars, dude. You should have made him get the dog.
No, I had other weed that I had a lot of other weed I didn't give him. So I was like, all right, let me limit this problem.
Holy shit.
He's like, oh, all right, this is like a misdemeanor. I'll write you a ticket. The summons. You could just pay the ticket and plead no contest, or you can come and fight or whatever. And he goes to his car and comes back. Says, hey, can you turn around? I'm like, why? He's like, I have to arrest you. I'm like, why? He's like, it's too much weed. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's 6 chocolate bars. He's like, yeah, but because I have my medical marijuana card from Massachusetts, and they issue you a real license. You have to go to a real doctor to get it. So it's not like one of these crystal healers where you get it's like legit in the state of Massachusetts the way they do it. He's like, yeah, that doesn't matter here. I was like, but what do you mean it's too much? He's like, well, if you read on the labels, it's like 1,000 milligrams in each bar. And weed concentrate is treated like crack, whereas like flower bud is treated like powdered cocaine. So it became a class 2 felony. I'm like, but you wouldn't have known that if it wasn't labeled, because it's labeled to me because it's medication from the state. I bought it from the state of Massachusetts.
Oh,
yeah. So I got pulled in on that.
Holy shit!
I know. It was a Sunday, and he was like, and that's why I gave him the bag. Because he's like, it's Sunday afternoon. You get the dog out here, could take all night, or you can just give me what you got, and we'll go, and I'll let you go, and you keep on your way. So I get pulled in. Thank God he got a judge to issue bail before, I was getting booked for this. But it was hanging over my head for like 15 months.
Holy shit, dude.
And it was a serious crime. So it wasn't, I found a lawyer. This is great. My buddy, who is now, he's the new mayor of Newport, Rhode Island.
Oh, shit.
He was a lawyer in Rhode Island for a while. So I called him up right when I got bailed out. And he goes, Randy, because it was a buddy of mine from college. He's like, I've been waiting 15 years for this phone call. Because he's like a fixer kind of guy. He's a great dude.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll make some calls in Texas. I'll find you a lawyer. Right. He found me the best lawyer in Dallas. I call him up. He goes, you don't want to hire me? I'm like, why not? He's like, if my big money ass goes out to Abilene and shows up in court, they're going to stick it to you just to stick it to me.
Yeah.
You want to get the local guy who hunts pheasant with the hillbilly judge.
Exactly.
So he found me that guy, a guy named Jacob Lizard.
And I was shout out, dude.
Yeah, Jacob Lizard. And I asked, you sure this is the guy? He's like, he got a guy off a double murder last week. I'm like, that sounds like the guy.
Dude, that is the
best guy. So the best part is, this is all going down during the pandemic now. My case is pending during the pandemic.
It's just holding, I'm sure.
Yeah, it took 15, 16 months before it went to a judge. The DA wanted to push for charges. And
that's crazy, man.
Yeah, my lawyer called me with that. I was like, so I got some arraignment, whatever the next step was. And he went, he's like, got good news for you. The judge threw it out. I was like, oh, thank God. He's like, what happened? He's like, well, the DA was the first female DA in Taylor County. And she was trying to prosecute everything to get her name in, get her name up.
Yeah.
Judge looked at her and said, wait a minute. This guy's 38 years old at the time. He doesn't live here. He was driving through. He had a medical card. I sent all this documentation, all my medical details. He has a medical card for the state he was moving to. He's like, you want to prosecute a 39-year-old guy who has no history at all in any system anywhere. You want to bring him back from California I was going to have to do probation for like a pretrial diversion.
Yeah.
So I'd have like,
brutal.
It's terrible. And he's like, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We're already 15 months behind on a backlog. He's like, this guy, he ripped up and threw the case out. but it was because she was the first female DA trying to make a name. He's like, I'm not going to let you, try and build your resume on this kid that would have to drag back from another state. He's out there. So I thank God I got it tossed.
Dude.
It cost me like, $8-9 grand, but worth it. Because my lawyer said I wouldn't have had to do time. They would have had either pretrial diversion or on straight probation.
Yeah.
But I would have had to show up and take drug tests in Texas every month. So I'd have to fly from California to Texas to meet with my parole officer, take a drug test, and fly back. So it would have been
the amount of money and wasted time that would have
exactly
been for the system and for you.
Yeah.
Just would have been so stupid, dude.
So stupid. But apparently, I learned after the fact. My lawyer said, "Yeah, this is like a scheme they have running in West Texas because Arizona and Colorado it's legal. So all the college kids come back from that direction. So anyone with an out-of-state plate, they pull over and find the shit out of them and try and get the revenue stream. Even the cop arrested me was like, "Oh, sorry, man." I was in the car. This is the best part. I was in the car going on a central booking. He just come sit in the front seat. Fucking,
Didn't even cuff you?
He did when they were going arresting me, but then when I got in the thing, I was like, I can't sit back. He's like, I'm tight. Yeah. He said in my police, I was very compliant. You know, like I literally thought I wasn't in any trouble. Like, this is all legal. It's my shit. You know, like, it's fine. I didn't know I was doing anything wrong. So I'm asking, he's asking me, like, about being a comedian and all this. So I asked him how long he's been a cop. He was a state trooper. He's like, like 8, 9 years. My whole family's in the business. Yeah. I was like, so it's kind of desolate out here. Like, what's the real big problems out here? He goes, mostly meth and pedophilia. And I'm like, and you have me in the car? He's like, dude, sorry, the body camera. I couldn't, like, once the body camera saw all the weed you had, I couldn't just let you go. Like, because then I would get in trouble. So I have to drag you in on this. I'm like, fuck.
Dude, that is, yeah. Dude, I had a buddy. There was one of our buddies who had like a massive dick. And this is such a funny. It was like my friends, it was like 8th grade, I think, and my buddies I was like hanging out with a different group of friends, and then had like gone and hung out with them again, and they'd all found out how big this kid's dick was. So like, it was like a sleepover, and I remember they were like, "Dude, you got to show O'Connor your fucking dick. You got to show your O'Connor." And dude, we were literally all playing like Mario Kart. We paused Mario Kart while he jerked off and got hard to show me his dick. And then,
oh my God!
So he's jerking off like under his, like, in his sleeping bag or whatever, getting this thing hard. And then, no, he was using my buddy's like sheets, and all of a sudden he just goes, "Oh no! Oh no!" And he came in the sheets, and then my buddy, whose sheets are wearing, got pissed and kicked his ass. Dude, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Just a dude hard in a refractory period, and my buddy was just like pounding on him.
Yeah, young straight dudes are the gayest dudes.
I know. Dude, they were getting into wild shit. They were like, I left them for like 3 months. I was hanging out with other kids and just doing other shit. I came back and they were doing stuff where one buddy was putting his legs over his head and breathing through his asshole. They got all into like weird butt stuff. Did you guys ever? Dude, did you guys ever see someone breathe in and out of their asshole?
No, but I'd watch it once.
Dude,
how do you do it?
I don't know. He would throw his legs over his head. His asshole would like gape, and it would like take a breath, and then he'd fart it out. And
he could probably suck his own dick.
No. But he could breathe in and out of his asshole. It was
My buddy was nodding off, and I was ready to go. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I was just, it's still, we were drinking a pounding bottle of Jameson's, I remember. And I got off. I don't know where I got off. And it was pumping. And it was like 11:30 at night. I'm like, where the fuck is this? Subway is pumping. I don't know where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I remember I was trying to talk to this chick, and she kept walking away. And like, she was like, give me a hint. And I turn around and I see like these 3 guys like following me. And like, I'm like, oh shit. You know, and I'm definitely in the wrong neighborhood, whatever, man. And I'm like, oh fuck. So I start walking towards the end of the train, and I'm like the biggest train person. So I'm like looking at it. I'm like, fuck it, man. I'm not getting robbed. I hopped on the tracks, and I'm like, come on. I had to start running down the tunnel. And I'm like, yo, and I'm not a train person. And I'm looking back. I'm like, fuck it. I'm running. I don't know which way the train's coming. So I keep looking back because it could be coming from that way, could be coming from this way. And there was like a catwalk that just didn't keep going through the whole thing, which would make sense. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm walking on that when I can. And now I'm like trying to run. I remember falling once and looking at the 3rd rail like that. I'm like, all right, get it together, Tom. I already committed. You know what I mean? And now I see lights coming, and I'm like, all right, I don't know about like inertia or like wind sucking me in. So I get off the tracks, I hold on to this pole, and the train's going by, and I'm like, fuck it. So I'm running, and I finally see the next station. I hop out, and for an electric train, it's pretty dirty. I have like soot on me, like it was like coal. You know what I mean? And I pull up myself onto the tracks. I remember this lady looking at me like, what's this crazy white boy doing? And I remember I got up and like, hindsight from working at UPS in the neighborhood, it was like the A or the C that goes by like maybe Liberty or somewhere in Pennsylvania, and I walked to the Exxon that used to be on Pickett in Pennsylvania. Hindsight working at UPS, there was a Subway, and I was like just trying to hide out, trying to figure out how to get home, and then fucking some guy let me in his cab to give me a ride home, and then he stole my phone. Scumbag.
Oh my God.
Dude, that is like the most dangerous thing.
I know, but I didn't get robbed. Scumbags. Imagine by chance. Like, I played a lotto, I gambled. There's always a chance. He could be one of these guys. Like, yo, remember that fat guy we were going to rob that time? There's a chance. There's a chance.
Dude,
I like that after all that effort, he still got his phone stolen anyway.
Oh my God, dude.
They had the partition. I don't know how. I was trying to show him something, and he fell in, and then he locked it, and then he wouldn't.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Oh, after all that, I got robbed anyway. Scumbags.
Dude, I can't believe you didn't even not only jump on the tracks to go to the other platform, you ran through the tunnel to the next station.
Well, at a certain point, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I was nervous because it's scary down there. I remember going like this to the guys, like, come on. You know what I mean? Like, let's see how tough you are. You know, there's 3. Let's go in the dark.
Yeah, it had to be like pitch black.
Yeah,
and it's frightening. Dude.
And like just going back and forth, like looking like, because you don't know which way the train's coming.
The amount of rats there, dude.
I didn't even think of that. But when I fell, like I tripped once, and I remember it was a surreal moment of looking at the third rail, like, come on, Tom, get it together. And I'm pissed drunk, partying.
Holy
like,
well, that'll sober you up a little.
Yeah, that fall.
Yeah.
I remember looking at the third rail, like, get it together, because you there was always, as a kid, you're like, you can't pee on the third rail. I don't know why people would be pissing on the third rail, but that was the thing. You don't want to
come back up. Yeah,
you get electrocuted. Like,
oh my God, dude! Holy shit!
But let's go Knicks, you know.
Just you and the Ghostbusters are the only people that I've ever heard of walking on those train tracks.
Wow.
And like MTA,
Wow.
get it together. Why is the catwalk stop at certain points? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it
probably
should go through the whole tunnel.
Probably because not even the workers are like, there's no reason we'd ever need to walk between stations.
And I don't even remember how long I was down there, because the next stop takes a little while on the train, let alone.
Yes.
It's probably a 2 mile walk.
And
mile walk.
I never did a pull up my whole life. I know people are like, obviously, but like that's my goal. You know what I mean? To do one pull up before I die. And
The reason the train exists like that is because it's too far to walk. And you did.
and then but pulling myself up off the tracks, I was like impressed because the adrenaline. You know, I
Yeah.
had finally seen this where I was trying to get to. Like,
Dude,
I just
what a
added tunnel.
feeling. What a feeling that must have been, though, as you like are approaching the end and you see like the light from the station. Dude.
And that is, the other station was pumping. This one, there was a couple of people, like a normal 11:30 at night train station. I don't even ride the train.
Dude, I'd be horrified if I just saw some dude fucking in his Knicks gear on a Saturday night come out from the tunnel. I've seen people jump the tracks, but like coming out from the tunnel, coming up, be like, oh, this guy's here to murder everybody here.
I've seen kids riding on the top.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's something I've seen recently.
get
And
real
that I wouldn't even do,
decapitated.
let alone run in the fucking tunnels.
I just didn't want to get robbed, man. I felt it.
Yeah.
A fish out of water, trying to talk to this girl. And like, it was a last minute. My friend was nodding off, and the door opened. I didn't know where I was. I ran out of the door, it closed right behind me. And then at that point, I knew I fucked up.
Hold on. So you also left your buddy asleep on the train?
yeah.
What a friend. What a fucking friend.
I always love the line, it was at that point I knew I fucked up.
You might be asking yourself, how'd I end up in this situation?
So this girl got murdered on a Friday, and then little 5 is like Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah.
She got murdered on a Friday, and then the Saturday, my friend's visiting, and she's like, I know this girl got murdered, but like, I do want to party. and she's like, I am visiting you, so like, you do have to drink with me.
Did the campus like shut down when that happened?
Like a little bit, yeah, but at the same time, like little 5 was, they're like someone did get murdered, but we are gonna party. Like we're not gonna call it off.
Her friend was like, I did pay $45 for a megabus to come here.
How long did it take them to catch the guy?
I think like 24 hours.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah, pretty quick.
That's crazy.
Because of but but then we're like drinking all day. Okay, drinking all fucking day. We go back for a little nap. We wake up, and Gabby, she wants like it's called like Big Mac. It was just like a mac and cheese sandwich. Okay. And I was like, well, I'm fucked up. I can't drive. She's like, oh, I'm good to drive. She's hammered. So she's driving my car, and she rolls a stop sign. And because someone just got fucking murdered, there's all these cops around, okay? And so then she rolls the stop sign, and there's like 2 like stop signs behind us. A cop like goes on, and he starts like following us. Gabby turns to me and says, I can't get another DUI, and fucking floors it. Floors it. She's running from the cops in my car, and then she goes down a couple of stop signs. She takes her right. She takes another left. We're in someone's yard. She turns off all the lights. She's like, get out of the car. We get out, and we're hiding for the next 4 hours.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Yo.
Yeah, dude. And it was she was like, you know what? I was actually very drunk. And I was like,
no shit.
This is terrible. This is
I can't believe you got away.
I know.
So like I am just beat. I'm down. Like I'm like just depressed on the platform, and this kid bumps into me, and I don't even say anything. I'm just like whatever. And then he goes, as he's walking away from me, he goes, yo, you ever do anything like that again, I'll cut your throat. Which is like a trigger for me, because that's only been said to me one other time in my life. And my my reaction was very aggressive.
What did you do
to that guy? Yeah. That happened on a construction site, and I had a come along. You know what a come along is? No. It's this tool. It's on a long stick, and it's fucking got a big metal plate on the end.
Is that what they hit?
You pull the concrete with it.
Yes.
And I went after that guy with that thing. So, and then he tried to act like he was having a heart attack. He was like, I'm sorry. I was like, you ain't fucking sick. That's you great. Fucking piece of shit. Yeah. So he says that to me. He goes, yo, you do that again, I'll cut your throat. And like so many things just rush through my head. Like it perks me up. And I was like really weak. And then I don't know, I felt like it kind of like woke me up a little bit, right? Yeah. And I just go, I turn around, I go, what did you say? And he goes, you heard me. I said, I'll cut your throat. And I just grabbed him by the throat and by his belt buckle. He had one of them silly-ass fucking belt buckles on. I tried to get him up over my head, but I only got him about, like, head high. And then I just dropped him on his face. And then the people on the platform held me until the fucking cops got there.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
bullshit.
Yeah. Now, and then the cop was the best, man. I got to tip my hat to him because he's asking the kid. He goes, hey, he's asking me what happened. I'm telling him what happened. And the kid is, like, fucking on Queer Street, and he's like, do you want to press charges? And the kid was like, no. He was like, all right, let's fucking get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's lucky.
That's the craziest thing that physical altercation I've gotten to on that. But I could tell the kid was definitely fucked up, man. Like, I don't know if he was on drugs or had mental health issues. But I also, too, had mental health issues. So.
But you don't know how.
And then I got a job right after that, so.
Hell, that's what you had to do.
You needed a release, dude.
Yeah. It woke you up.
I killed my next interview.
Yeah.
They're like, so tell me a little bit about yourself. I'm like, well, I don't let people threaten me on the subway platform. I will stoop to physical violence if need be.
Well, I did just get into a physical altercation, and you know what? Yeah. This is way less difficult than talking to the police. So,
how do I handle conflicts? In the office, I would do it verbally. But if we're on the train platform, I'm fucking blaming you on your face.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, bro, dude. I told a couple stories. My dad, there was a Halloween where I dressed. I told this on a couple things, but I was dressed as a ninja with real swords, real fucking swords, like full $500 like samurai fucking swords.
When the fuck was this? You gotta put an age on this motherfucker.
Like last year?
No. It was like right around the same time. It was probably maybe 2 years after this, something like that. Yeah, and I get blackout drunk, and my mom won't let me in the house. I get like thrown out of the car on the front lawn, kind of thing. Like I was at a party, and you know, me and it's always so funny. And I was thinking about this, like when you bring your like crew that you grew up with to like another like a little more higher brow kind of situation, and you guys just fucking take it over.
Yeah.
Just ruin it. Everybody's having fun. Wait till my guys get here.
You're like, Jimmy's going to be jumping on the hood of your car soon. So good luck. I hope you have insurance. Because he doesn't.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Did you pull the swords out?
So I was whipping the swords around, and
Dude, let me get that Diet Coke. Let me slice the Diet Coke bottle.
You're out in the yard. You're like, Mom, come see this new trick I learned.
Throw me some fruit, Mom.
No, I get. She won't let me in the house. I had like passed out, pissed myself. I'm laying in the front lawn. It's like, October, cold. I'm fucking soaked in piss.
You still got your weapons?
Yeah, I still got my weapons.
Oh, cool.
She calls my dad to come over. He comes over middle of the night to fucking pick me up, and I find out the next morning because I don't know. And this is all I'm being told to me. Because I wake up in the morning. Hogtied to the bottom of a bed, to the foot of the bed of my aunt's bedroom. Where my dad was staying. So he's like, "Yeah, dude, I'll come get you, fucking swinging these fucking swords at me."
Oh my God.
Yeah, crazy.
That's so funny, dude.
He refers to it as the Night of the Ninja. It was he gets talked about still a little bit.
Swinging swords at me, dude.
Oh, good, dude. Holy shit.
Ed, do you think you should really get real swords for this costume? Yeah, I don't see how it could go wrong.
Well, the whole thing was I had access to the swords, and I was like, I'm like, it'd be crazy not to use these.
What can I be that needs a sword?
Let me
Samurai?
think.
Too racist.
Ninja suit. Yeah, you just cover it up. Yeah, so I'm all in black, right? I'm with a fucking face mask.
Just swinging fucking swords, dude. Oh, it's so funny.
Oh God! And I had to have, my form must have been awful. You know what I mean? Just like a baseball bat, swing, like a lasso, right? He's just like, what the fuck is it? And I imagine there was a tackle, of some sort,
Give me the fucking swords.
Well, Luke, you came a little bit late today, and you got me in trouble because I got stuck watching Dylan's new favorite show with him.
Dude. All right.
Oh boy,
he's become a big young Sheldon head.
of course,
dude. Unironically,
dude. That's the thing you got to realize about Dylan's taste. They're all unironic, which is it's respectable. If he was like Brooklyn-y and doing it as a bit, I'd be like, oh, okay, very funny.
Yeah.
Dylan's the guy doing it for real.
Oh, I know. He kept telling me, he was like, no, dude, watch it though. It is funny.
This is a new low.
He kept coming, it is funny. And then there was nothing funny about it. And I, like an asshole, kept going, was that supposed to be funny? and then he starts going, well, this episode isn't that great. The first 4 that I watched, really good episodes.
Okay, can I tell you, dude? This is as we're watching it. As we're watching
What are
it.
you, a 78-year-old woman who watches young show?
Dude, it's a little mindless. It's a little mindless sitcom. It's not bad. I've been getting, you know what it is? I've been getting the feeds. They keep giving me the shorts on YouTube. So I'm like, oh, this doesn't look bad. So I saw it. It was on HBO. So I was like, oh, I'll just
But the algorithm that feeds you that is based on your interests.
All right, dude.
So they're like, this is a perfect demographic.
And boy, did they nail it. Boy, did they nail it. Dude, are you a Big Bang Theory guy?
No, not at all. I think that show's bad. Speaking of, when I'm watching Young Sheldon, hanging out, dude. Hanging out, just getting a little young ass, dude. Hanging out with my boys.
You can't call it young ass.
Young ass. No, that makes you sound like a
That's true.
You're gonna start calling it 8-year-old Sheldon, and that's when it becomes a problem.
Dude, how much of a creep does Dylan look like? He brings a girl home. She's like, "What are you doing?" Just watching Young Sheldon. That's all.
I will say
it's like Big Bang Theory, but he's a little boy.
It is worse.
Like Big Bang Theory, but sexier.
If this show just had a younger child in it.
Dude, that's
it's
so
not good.
funny.
I get it. I told my mom I was watching. She goes, oh, Dylan.
Your mom.
Yeah.
That's so
She's like, what are you doing? I was like, yeah, just catching up on some TV. She's like, what are you watching? I was like, I just started watching the show Young Sheldon. Have you ever seen it? It's not bad.
Well, you've heard his music, right?
Well, dude, you actually said one of the funniest things because we walked into the club the other night and I was with my girlfriend and she goes, "Oh, Dylan, you always have the best playlists." And you were like, "Are you serious? Are you serious?" He basically plays music for, what did you say?
I said it's Forever 21 music. It's the music that they play at a strip mall in Lansing, Michigan. Like it's like when you're trying on shirts at H&M. It's the exact. That's the music Dylan loves. It's like unironically every song's like, "I wanna get better." It's unreal, dude.
Hey, listen,
dude, it's strip mall music.
I stand by that song. It's a great song, dude. It amps you up. Because you know what? I do want to get better.
I actually think that's a respectable quality of yours.
Thanks, dude.
I agree with you saying that. Is that he will just be listening to some fucking Sum 41 or whatever it is, and if somebody makes fun of it, you'll be like, "Nah, dude, this is a great song."
Yeah, no.
All right, fuck it, hell yeah.
No, Dylan has he's very like unabashed about it. He is confident in his taste. They happen to be the taste of like a 32-year-old autistic woman in Columbus, Ohio. But it's
my crowd, dude. It's my crowd.
If you were from Middle America and you happen to be a little on the spectrum, and you were a lady, you would listen to that song and you would really enjoy Young Sheldon. I think this is who it's made for.
Dylan's an angsty cat.
Dylan's a little scared.
And I went to this bar with my twin sister and a few of her friends, and then my buddy that I was telling you about. We'll call him Jim. So we go to this bar, and I'm just, I don't want to use his
Shout
name.
out Jim.
He has like a whole family and stuff now.
Yeah.
I don't want to. So I go to this bar and we're just getting after it. And I'm like hanging out with my twin sister and her friends because she was popular. She had a lot of hot friends. So we're all hanging out, just having a good time. And I'll never forget it. We leave the bar and I'm pretty drunk at this point. And there's this guy, looked like a smaller version of Machine Gun Kelly, like spindly, like tattoos everywhere, white guy, but it's Daytona. So he thought he wasn't. And he's just like talking to my sister, my twin sister, I call her my baby sister because we're 30 minutes apart.
You know what's actually pretty dumb? You said your twin sister, and then you said my sister came, and my first question was, how old is she? Is she older or younger? That's how dumb I was.
Well, I call her my baby sister because I'm 6'1" and she's like 5'2", maybe. And so like and she's 30 minutes younger, which in twin logic is huge. That's a huge difference. Normally it's like a minute to 30 seconds. So I always call her my baby sister. So this guy's just flirting with her, and I didn't like the cut of his jib. So at one point, we're outside, and he's getting into his car. And the whole time, "Hey, baby, let me get your number." And my sister's drunk, screaming her phone number at the top of her lungs, hitting me like, "Brennan, you always get in the way of everything. What's wrong with you? Blah, blah, blah." And as he gets into the car, I said, "No, man, why don't you just leave us alone?" And he shuts the door. Windows are down. It's him in the back seat, his buddy in the front, another buddy in the other back seat, and then his sister, which I learned later, is driving. And he goes, "Hey, man, I'm a good guy." And I said, "No, I really don't think you are." And as he rolls up his window, he goes, "Well, then fuck you, Frosted Flake." So I turn to the car and I go, "I can't hear you." And then I took my forehead and I put it through the car window. Shattered the car window. Shattered it. And I talk about the story on stage, and the tag is "Don't ever knock yourself before you get into a fight." But I wasn't like I hit it and I was like knocked out. It was a standing knockout where like I saw the spots and I kind of blacked out for a second. And then he goes, "Oh, fuck no." And he gets out of the car, and then his two buddies get out of the car, and then his sister is screaming. Obviously, I just shattered her car window. She's screaming, "Oh my God, what the fuck? What the fuck?" And then I'm in a weird conundrum now, because I'm not a fighter. Like I don't know how to fight. I was never like a fighting kid. We used to box sometimes in high school, but like I've always lost.
Yeah.
So now there's three guys out of the car, and in my head, in my drunken head, I make this split decision where I go, well, I'm not going to fight. Like I played my hand. Like that was my thing was like, I'm going to shatter the window, scare the shit out of these guys. And then the sister's just going to take off. They're going to be so frightened. That's not what happened though. They all got out, and I was like, fuck. So in my head, I think, well, there's two ways I can play it. I can either just try and start fighting them, which I will lose, or I can play the "I'm such a psycho, you really don't want to do this" card. So obviously, I play the card. I'm like punching myself in the face. I'm like, "I'll fucking kill all of you. Are you out of your fucking mind? Come at," like fucking Ronnie and Jersey Shore. "Come at me, bro." Like just screaming, punching myself in the face. Blood's obviously running down my face. I'm going to be honest with you, too. They called my bluff.
I thought thought you were gonna say, "By God, it worked."
No, they called the bluff. And dude, as someone who played football my whole life, the only thing I really know how to do is to like make a form tackle. So the one guy, the MGK guy, is in front of me, and then his two friends are kind of flanking me. Oh, yeah. So I just run full speed at him. Perfect form tackle. Pick him up, drive him into the ground, and I'm like, fuck yeah. And as I go to stand up, kick in the back of the head, stumble, kick in the fucking side. Now I'm on the ground. He like gets out from under me and gets behind me, and then they just start kicking me. Now again, my buddy Jim is in the bar, and he's with like all these bouncers and club owners and stuff. So I turn and I army crawl as I'm getting hit in the back of the head and kicked and stuff. And I like army crawl and like halfway get myself up and open the bar door. And then Jim looks at me and I go, help. And all these fucking like that bouncers and club owners and stuff come out and pick these dudes up and throw them out and kick the shit out of them. Cops have been called. My buddy Jim looks at me. He goes, you have to get out of here. And then I turn, and the bar manager, who was one of the guys who didn't like me because he knew I could get into some trouble.
Yeah, clearly.
He looks at me and just has this disappointed look on his face. And I just remember saying over and over, it was my sister, man. It was my sister. Like, what did you want me to do? It was my sister. And then Jim grabs me and shakes me. He goes, you have to get out of here right now.
Yeah.
And so he points me to the back door. He goes, go out the back. And I'm still trying to like get this bar manager to like not be mad at me. People pleasing. I'm like, come on, man. Like, you get it, right? You have a sister. Like, because his sister was like in our same high school class. I was like, you have a younger sister. Like, you totally. And then Jim is like, Brennan, get the fuck out of the bar. So I run out through the back, hop a fence because I'm an athlete. I hop. It's like a big. It's like one of those 10-foot privacy fences.
Dude, me and Ray are athletes. We get it.
Hop that. And it was like GTA. I know Dane has a joke, Dane Cook, about like, you could just shoot a cop in the face and then wander around for 5 minutes. But it was just like that. I hopped the fence and I can see it's downtown Daytona. So you can see the you can hear the sirens and you can see the flashing lights of the police reflecting off buildings. So I know they're looking for me. There's one of those big electrical boxes, big green boxes in the alley. So I get behind the box and I just sit like this. But so the alley's behind me and I'm behind the box like this. And I see the cop cars going by with the fucking cop flashlights like out, like the car lights out, you know, that little maneuverable one. And they just keep driving up and down the street, don't ever find me. And then once it just kind of quiets down, I call my buddy and he's like, we're like 2 blocks away. And I stumble over there and they patch me up. I end up not going to the hospital or anything. But that was the point where I almost got into serious trouble because one of the cops that came down there was frequented one of the establishments that Jim owned. And he told me the next day she showed up and she was like, yeah, that was crazy. Because she was the first officer on the scene. So the next day she goes to his place and she goes, yeah, that was crazy last night. She goes, thank God we didn't find that kid. We would have like had to arrest him for like assault and property damage. Like he would have been going away for a long time. And then Jim was just like, yeah, God, that's crazy. Too bad you guys didn't find him.
That's what I was going to say. You damaged the vehicle.
Yeah,
they never came after you for that?
No. So what ended up happening was because once the bouncers and stuff got involved, the guys just like got in the car and they took off because then they were outnumbered.
Yeah.
And then at that point, it's a fucking bar in Daytona. Like, what are you going to do? Go back and get someone's name or something like that? It was over.
Yeah.
They fled the scene. I fled the scene. So there was no one to file a report.
So we're drinking. We got the Henny going. We got the blunt. We were smoking that. We get into the party. I'm double fisting the G&Ts, a couple Jack and Cokes to sweeten it out every now and again.
Nice.
Because I still miss the Mountain Dew and gin, right? But I don't do it as much because I tried to get a little more adult about it.
A little classy.
Yeah, we'd call ourselves gin dews when we'd get real fucked up. So we till this day, my buddy can't drink Mountain Dew. He's like, even the smell of it takes me back. Makes me so sick. So we're in this party. There are just girls walking all over the place. It's phenomenal. These calendar girls. All the girls are there, I'm screaming out the months. I'm like, January, get back here. I'm just like acting wild. And my buddy's having a time too. It's fantastic. And then this is the last moment I remember of the party, right? And then the rest of it gets filled in by Ed. But so my cousin calls me up and he goes, hey, what are you up to? And I go, buddy, calendar party, girls everywhere. It's phenomenal, And he goes, come through, don't worry about it. My boy got you. And he's like, all right, cool. I'm coming through right now. I walk out of the bar, and the place is called Calico Jack's. I don't know if anyone remembers. It's a place in Midtown, real shithole. It's closed.
Yeah.
So then my cousin rolls up, and we walk back to the entrance, and the bouncer goes, what are you doing? And I go, what? He goes, you think you left on your own? I threw you out of here.
What a feeling where you go from cool guy to just instant loser. Just being like, hey, no, we'll skip the line. I'll get you in. And you guys like, actually, we kicked him out. So you guys both got to go get pizza.
My cousin hopped out of the cab, looked at me, saw this whole situation went down, put his hand back up, got in the cab, and left. He was with me all but 4 minutes.
That's holy shit. That's so funny, dude.
So then I black out. I don't remember anything else. So then I call up the next morning. I wake up. I'm in my room, and I got 2 slices of pizza. One in the bed face down, and the other one on the floor. I had a loft bed, mind you, so I had to climb a ladder to get in this pizza, and apparently one slice didn't make it. So I call up Chase Bank, and they're like, yeah, you spent money in the West Village. And I go, that doesn't make sense. I was in Midtown. So now I got to do a little piecing together.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I call up Ed. He doesn't answer. And I'm now trying to figure, I'm like, why? I was in this place in the West Village. There's not many bars there. And I'm thinking, what happened? Did I go home with somebody? What went down? And Ed finally calls me back. And I go, what happened, dude? And he was like, oh, man, it was crazy. And I was like, yeah, okay. He goes, we went to a calendar party. I go, yeah, I know. I brought you there. He goes, I think your cousin came. And I go, yeah, I think he was there, but I think he left. He goes, yeah. And he goes, we went to an SNL party. I go, what? He goes, yeah, Saturday Night Live.
Stop, dude.
Yes. Apparently, we had gotten invited to a Saturday Night Live after party.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Somebody had called Ed, and he said, you want to come through? And he goes, yeah, we're just leaving this calendar party. And so then we get into a cab. We go to a Saturday Night Live after party. We're there. We're getting fucked up. I go, all right, Ed, tell me what I said to everybody. Was I talking to a man named Lorne? He goes, I was talking to Bill Hader. He liked me.
Oh, my God, dude.
And I go, what about me? What about me? What was I doing? What went down? He goes, you? He goes, huh? And he just had to think about it because all he could think about is the things he was doing.
Yeah.
Right? Because he was like really messed up. So he's recounting his night. He's talking to different comics. He's talking to different celebrities. He's meandering around the entire place. He goes, you were at the ATM for a few minutes. I don't know what you were doing, but I don't think you got money out of it. And I go, well, that makes sense because I didn't see any withdrawals.
Yeah.
But I did open my wallet and I saw my library card was in front of my ATM card. So I think I might have been using my library card to get money in and out. So then at some point I go, well, what did I do after that? He goes, oh, you sat at the bar and then you fell asleep. Oh, no. And I go, did I speak to anybody? He goes, no, not one person. You didn't talk to one person. Instead, you fell asleep. And I was like, the entire time? He goes, yeah, until we had to leave. And I go, oh, you know what? I'll take it.
Dude, I
best case scenario, honestly.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Best case.
And then Ed said something to me that I'll never forget. He just went silent for a minute. And then he goes, yeah, man. And then it was like a long pause. And then he went, Henny'll get you.
The second week I had my brand new car, I got a brand new Cadillac CTS. I was in love with it, right? Black leather. It was amazing. So we're sitting in the front seat. Now the ride from that place to the restaurant was maybe less than a mile, right? And on side streets where it's 30 miles an hour. I hop in the car. As soon as I'm getting the car started, he's already got the CD case out, got the whole gram poured on the fucking CD case, right? Chopping up lines. I'm literally flying out of the parking lot, making a left onto the street, going about 85 miles an hour. As soon as I make the turn to get on the street that the restaurant's on, lights go off. And I'm like, oh, fuck, shit, dude. And I turned to him. I was like, dude, Mike, you got to fucking do all that right now. And he's like 2 steps ahead of me. He's like, right? Like, stop. I'm pulled over already. I'm stopped, right? And he's like, just fucking like doing it all, like the whole gram. And like, this wasn't like the Coke water guy's shit. This was like the shit. Yeah. Good. So like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I'm like going for my license. Like I roll down the window and I have my license. I don't even get like this with my license. And the cop grabs it and throws it on the ground. He's got the flashlight on me. He's like, Trusso, fuck you.
And I'm like, what? And he's just going off on me. He's like, if I didn't know your uncle, I would be fucking hauling your ass into fucking the station right now, 85 miles an hour on a fucking 30-mile-an-hour street. And I'm trying to interrupt him and be like, I don't give a fuck what you're doing. Slow it the fuck down with this car. I'm going to impound it. I know it's new. Like, he's fucking yelling at me like this, right?
Oh, my God.
So I'm like, okay. And he like just walks away. So I open the door, like I like grab my license off the ground, like I like roll, I turn. Like the first time I make eye contact with Mike, dude, he's got coke all over his face, bro. Like it's not even like hidden; it's up here in his eyebrows, dude. I'm like, how did it get in your eyebrows, right? Like, and he's like, and the first thing he says to me, he's like, dude, you gotta take me to the hospital. Like he's flying, bro, right? And the only thing I think of, like, I'm such a dick, bro. I was like, you owe me $60. Like I was like, fucking. That's the first thing I thought of. Is I was pissed that I didn't have. We had to go get him Xanax to calm him down.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah. My wallet gets stolen, right? And I'm all pissed about it. I like the girls left. They had left, and that's when I realized it was gone. So I called her and I was like, hey, did you accidentally, like, did you or your friend like see my wallet or grab it off the bar by accident or something? And I did not accuse her, but I texted her the next day. I was like, hey, great meeting you. Never texted me back. So, you know, who knows? Maybe she did steal it. But I'm outside because I'm like, they have a surveillance video, but they won't show it to me unless the cops like file a report. Yeah. So I call the police. And I was like, I'm pretty sure these guys next to me stole it, but, you know, they're not giving it to me. And then Tilson is in the bar with this other comic. I won't say his name out of respect, but Tilson comes out and he goes, hey, man, we got to go. I go, what happened? He goes,
I feel like Tilson cleans up shop at every bar. There's no way.
Well, he goes, the bar,
he goes, sweet boy.
The owner, the bartender just asked us to leave. I go, why? What happened? He goes, well, I thought it was for us because like we were like arguing with the guys about my wallet. He goes, oh, this guy, let's say Rob, he was in there after I walked outside. This girl like bumped into him and like gave him like a sneer, like, how dare you even like look at me kind of thing. Goes and sits down, and this is a good looking guy. And he walks over to the table with his three women and he goes, hey, I just want to let you know that the three of you are disgusting wild pigs.
Oh my God.
Wild is the funniest part of that. Wild.
And the girl stood up and fucking started like screaming in his face, started like trying to slap him and shit. And the bartender was like,
did
hey,
this?
no, this is the other guy that Tilson was with, the comic who I'm not mentioning his name. And Tilson comes out and he goes, yeah, we got to leave. We got to get out of here.
This is at that bar?
Yeah. And then I walked back in to use the bathroom and the bartender came over and he was like, hey, are you guys like trying to fight these guys that you think stole your wallet? And I was like, no, why? Like, I'm just going to get the surveillance video. What? And he was like, okay, because they're afraid to leave because they think that you're outside waiting for him, waiting for these guys. And I was like, dude, nothing made me feel more tough in a moment. And I was like, dude, what the fuck am I going to do?
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Nothing.
Meanwhile, you guys probably would have got your asses kicked by the wild fat pigs.
1,000%, dude.
I travel below my means because like when I go away, I'm like, I'm looking for like the cheapest shit possible to like cheapest places to stay in. I picked a hostel for all of us. Like all my friends like, Brandon, like you booked the hostel. I'm like, all right, cool. Booked a 30-person mixed dorm hostel. Like literally like at a campsite.
Oh, that sounds so bad.
Dude, we show up. It's just a bunch of Australian hippies running the fucking thing. And then we get in there and it's like us and then like a bunch of Australian like kids that are like 20, like they're 20, 21. Yeah. And then like 6 girls that are deaf. They're deaf. Like straight up like deaf, which is wild. And we're like,
that is not.
Did you just say that because they wouldn't fuck you or pay attention to your flirting?
They were the horniest people.
Every time
in
I
the
walked
room, they were the horniest people in the room, dude. It was kind of nuts.
How do you know they were horny,
dude? Because at the hostel, like it's one of these like it's called Stoke Travel. You can look this up.
Okay,
I mean, it's all just like. It's all meant for like people who are trying to party while traveling around the world.
That's kind of the ideal way to travel.
Right. So you show up and it's open bar for the whole time you're there. So it's like people are already like, as soon as you get there, they're like, "Oh, what's up, mate? Welcome, mate. Chug this sangria that we're all chugging." And you're like, "I don't even care. What's mono in Spain? That doesn't fucking exist." And you're just fucking hanging out. There's like a wheel you could spin, like by like their DJ stage, and like on the wheel, it's like "Kiss a Stranger," and like, dude, these deaf girls kept spinning this fucking wheel, and then they would like, like you rig a wheel to like land on whatever you wanted. They would land it on "Kiss a Stranger," and then the deaf girls would be like, "Oh," because like that's all they can say. And they're doing like this shit, but they're like, "Oh, like you gotta," And I'm like, "I'll kiss a fucking deaf girl." So I kissed one of them.
That's great.
Yeah, dude. One of them had night terrors. I shit you not. In the middle of the night, I've done the voice on a podcast, but I know one day it's gonna come back to bite me.
You got to do it now,
dude.
Our listeners would be furious if you didn't do it.
30 people mixed dorm. We're all in bunk beds, right? I'm ass to ass with some dude from Australia. My buddy is above me, and then I got my other buddies next to me. Dude, all we hear. Pitch dark at night. We're getting ready to run with the Bulls in like 3 hours. We're all like drunk as shit. Like, we've been drinking all day. All we hear is like, I'm like, oh my God, is she having a fucking nightmare? We're like, oh my God, who's gonna wake her up?
Yeah, because you have to go over there to wake her up.
But you can't. You can't like wake them up because like they'll fucking
during a night terror.
You ever seen Step Brothers? Where, like, sleepwalking, you wake them up, they fucking fight you. So we just had to wait for it to just stop.
Did it happen for a while?
Dude, it happened for like 10 minutes. It was like periodically we would go quiet, long. But we were crying. I mean, like, and then all my friends are like, "Dude, we got to get out of here." And I'm like, "No, this is what we paid for. This is worth the money."
I mean, to be fair, it is mean, but even if you're laughing. They can't tell.
I mean, I kissed
they
her.
Can't hear you.
I did kiss her. So I was like, that's my baby girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Wait, she was the one you kissed?
Yeah, of course. Why would? Because that's what life does.
You kissed
know what
her,
I mean?
and then she had night terrors immediately after.
How do you know they were night
coincidence.
terrors? She might have just been dreaming about getting fucked by you. And
That's probably what it was. I was giving it to her good.
A little too good.
Just drilling Helen Keller in the fucking hospital.
Hey, you know what I will say? You're right. That is going to cancel you one day.
Yeah, of course.
That noise.
All right, come on. It's Troublemakers. That's the name of the pod. We're not
true, dude. That's true.
Causing a stir up here. But yeah, anyway.
My mom does listen, but, other than that.
But yeah, I don't know. The fucking festival is crazy, though. You wake up at like fucking 5, and then you go to the town square. They have the track like set up, just wooden and metal barricades just all along like the streets. Nice. It's a half mile in total. Starting at the beginning of the town and then like running through all the way to this mini Coliseum that they have in like the city. Mm-hmm. And picture like the Roman Coliseum, just like smaller, and it holds like maybe 3,000 people.
Okay.
And it's packed. Like that place is sold out. Like people get there like 5. You pay like $150 for a ticket, and you wait for the runners to get in, and then that's kind of like when all like the crazy celebrations begin. Mm-hmm. But from 5 to 8, you're kind of just like walking the track, kind of like, because you can start at any point in the track, like wherever you want. And coincidentally, we met this guy, and he's like, "Hey, it's your first time?" We were like, "Yeah." We're like, "What about you?" He goes, "I've been running for like the last like 5 years." And we were like, "Oh, like why?" And,
was he from Spain, or you speak English?
No, he was totally English, like totally like awesome. American. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so we're like, why? And going back to like the whole gambling addiction thing, it's just like, he's like, well, I just love the adrenaline rush. He's like, and each year I do it, I try to get closer and closer to the Bulls so that I can run with the Bulls. And we were like, you're going to like die. You know what I mean? Like death is next for you. And so we're like, all right, sweet. So like, what's your advice for like first timers? He goes, oh, okay. If I were you, I'd start after Dead Man's Corner. And we were like, what's that? And he goes, okay, so the run kind of starts like a straight fucking bullet line, right? And then it's like a slight left, and then it's a straight beeline to this wall, and then it's a straight 90-degree angle. Like, so every bull and person that's running after like the slight left is beelining it towards this wall. The people kind of like slip a little bit, but the bulls slide.
Oh shit!
Because they can't make that right. They can't make that right turn as sharply as like a person could. So they all slide, and whoever's there just gets crushed, and that's why they call it Dead Man's Corner.
Oh. Do people die?
Yeah.
Oh, dude! After I found out there was a part of it called Dead Man's Corner, I'd be like, "I'll just go grab a coffee." So this is over.
Dude, so we're like, okay, like Dead Man's Corner, and we're like, why Dead Man's Corner? So he's like, okay, so after the Bulls slam into the wall, they're at their like least momentum. They're like still trying to gain the momentum. So when they're running past you, they're not running at their fastest. And we were like, all right, sweet. And we were like, any other tips? He goes, so you're wearing all white. That's like the uniform, I guess. And then you're wearing like a sash. There's like a belt sash thing. It's red, and then you're wearing a red scarf. And he was like, we were like, what else? Like other advice do you have? He goes, let me see your scarf. And then he like pulled on it, and he's like, this isn't good because like it didn't come undone. And I was like, why? And he goes, okay, so here's the thing: the Bulls aren't really what you got to worry about. It's the people, because you got to think. This is like end of the world. Like this is the closest you're going to get to like the end of the world happening in front of your face. And people are just going to be grabbing onto people at all times. Because like if it's not them, it's going to be you. So he's like, if I grab onto your scarf, I can drag you down.
Oh, shit.
So he's like, you got to learn how to tie slip knots. We're like, how do you fucking tie that? And so he showed us how to tie a slip knot. He's like, this is perfect. And then we were like, all right, cool. Any other advice? And he goes, yeah, don't. He goes, how many of you are there? And we're like, well, there's 9. And he goes, okay. Don't run together. And we were like, why? And he goes, well, if you're running next to a fucking person you love and it's between you and him, you're going to want to shove the person. So he's like, you need to get next to random people. And I was like, okay. And yeah. So he's like, all right, so you're going to hear the first gunshot at 8 o'clock, like 7:59 or something like that. And then after that, it's going to be like a minute. You have a minute to get in your position. And then the second gunshot means the Bulls are loose. You're going to have at least, he goes, the run is quick. It's like 15 seconds.
Holy shit.
Because the Bulls are fucking booking it. And so he's like, you're going to have like 15 seconds to kind of like get your shit together. Once you feel the ground start to rumble and you see those Bulls hit that fucking corner, you start booking it. Dude, so first gunshot goes off. I'm like, oh, fuck.
I can't imagine, dude. I cannot imagine the fucking, like, the nerves, the adrenaline building up in that moment.
Because the whole morning from, like, 5 to 8, you're just, like, chilling. You're just in the town, like, just hanging out on, like, a wooden barricade, like, with everybody else that's running. You're talking to other people from, like, different countries, like, where are you from? Like, people in Spain don't run. Like, it's literally, like, people from Spain don't run. It's, like, only tourists.
That's so funny.
Yeah, like, and people, like, on their balconies, like, it's got to be the coolest, like, from another perspective, it's got to be the coolest tailgate in the world, because, like, people on their balconies are just having the time of their lives.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And people are throwing sangria at you. Like, it's a fucking thing.
That's unbelievable.
And so, like, people, like picture, like, the streets in New York, like, delis, like, putting up, like, metal barricades in front of their, like, doors.
Yeah.
And then the owners, like, peering over. So, like, you're in the fucking, like street, which is the track, and you're looking up, and these people are like, why are you doing this? And you're like, I don't know, come on, it's fun. And so first gunshot goes off, and I'm like, oh shit, like the whole like crowd goes crazy, like everybody's like, oh. Then we're like, all right. I like started to run off instinct. My buddy's like, dude, it's not even starting. And like I slipped. I was like, oh my God, I already hurt my knee. No balls even came. I was like, dude, I'm just so nervous. And he goes, dude, don't worry about it. Like, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. And we're like, okay. And we start like, you know, like jumping up, like just like getting in our position. And then second gunshot goes off, and then the whole like town just erupts. Like everybody's like, whoa. And then like you hear like you feel like I've lived in California for 3 years. I've never felt an earthquake. This is a close, dude, the ground started rumbling.
Oh my God.
And then you just hear it, but like it gets a little quiet, like, but then you hear like oh, and then you see the Bulls like slam into the wall, and the whole crowd goes, oh, and you're like, dude. Jesus. And then you just start booking it. And then what happens is once you feel like the Bulls like getting closer to you, you break and you go to like the side of the street and you find a doorway. And so it's kind of like musical chairs.
Oh,
so
okay.
you get into this doorway and you're like with like a bunch of other people, but like there's people like coming up to the doorway like, let me in. And you're like, no, dude, keep running. They're like, Jesus, you know what I mean? And then, yeah, so like I'm 5 yards away from this bull. Like I'm like, if he turns right, like we're dead.
Yeah.
You know, they keep running past because they're following like one big bull that like it leads the pack, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And you run into the Coliseum, and then they wrangle all because after that first pack of 6 comes in the third leg of the run, they release another pack of 6. But you only get that pack. You only run with that pack if you started at the beginning. That's kind of how it goes. That's why you want to start at Dead Man's Corner because you only get 6.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's like you don't get like the full experience, but like it is enough.
It's like running a half marathon.
Yeah, it's enough.
Dude, a half mile is and it's only like it's a quick fucking. They're running a quarter mile in 15 seconds. Like,
do you think you've ever run faster?
Dude, I was in Converse. I was hungover. I'm like, this is the worst but you're not even thinking about your breath. Like,
that's what I mean.
You're just fucking booking it.
Life or death.
Yeah. And the cops are on the street like yelling. They're like, keep running, pussy. You're like, all right. Get in the Coliseum. They wrangle all 12 bulls, and then they release 6 baby bulls one by one with capped horns. And those are the bulls like people fuck with. Like, it's good luck to like slap it on the ass. And you just watch like all the runners kind of like shift wherever the bull is going.
Yeah.
But the crowd is like egging the bull on to fucking fuck you up. So
it's like Gladiator.
Dude, you're watching people get like bucked while there's a commentator in the Coliseum. Like, you hear the commentator like live, and he's like talking in Spanish, like blah, 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 blah. And while he's talking, and people are
Spanish.
Yeah,
good, dude.
That was pretty good.
Really good,
dude. My Panamanian father would be so proud. And so while people are like getting bucked, like this guy's like commentating on everything. He's like, ooh. And he's playing the biggest hits of like today. So like people are getting bucked up to like Bad Bunny. You know what I mean?
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Did you guys go in the Coliseum?
Yeah. But as soon as I got in the Coliseum, I'll show you videos after.
Yeah.
As soon as I got in the Coliseum, like I literally, like you can, like my friends and I were like, all right, when you get into the Coliseum, there's 2 TVs apparently. And we were like, we're just going to break to the left. And that's how we'll find each other.
Okay.
And, like, meet up. And I just stayed on the side. You can stay on the side. You're not safe. Like the bull still comes near you, but like you're safer than like being in the dirt. And I was just like, I'm not going to cheat death twice.
Yeah. I'm not going to go slap a bull on the ass.
Right.
After I just literally watched 6 bulls run past me.
Dude, yeah.
So people are getting like fucked up in the streets.
Oh, yeah. Nobody got gored on our day. So they the newspaper drops with all the casualties afterwards. And
oh my God.
Yeah, nobody got gored. It was on like BBC News. BBC News like covers the whole thing, and no one got gored on the first day, which was pretty cool. But then we were already gone from Pamplona by the time this happened. I think like the 5th run, there was like 3 gorings, and one guy was actually from our hometown.
No.
Yeah, Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, and he posted a video of it on like Twitter. And it went like viral. Obviously, he was like covered by the whole like news in Florida and everything. And his whole like calf was just ripped to shreds by a horn, like fucked up his nuts, and like his calf was just
Now it makes sense. I've just put it together that you're from Florida.
Yeah.
Like
The thing is, you bring a girl to a comedy show, and she's the one that wanted to go to the comedy show. Then you find out she banged half the people there, banged the barker. You're like, yo, you banged him? He's fucking barking. I mean, I'm doing a guest spot, but this dude's working. I did that once, brought a girl. Everybody's like, dude, stay away from her. I didn't listen. Took her out to eat. We ordered $100 worth of sushi. It was the Lantern, the River comedy shop or whatever. I bring her there. I met her at the Pear. She's like, I want to go to a show at the Lantern. This dude's like, she's just trying to make me jealous. He's like, dude, I used to mess with her. He's like, she used me for free food. I quit talking to her. After the show, we go get sushi, $100. She orders the boat. Like, she just kept ordering shit. She's like, I'm going to make it worth it. You could eat it off me after or whatever.
Jesus Christ.
Right? So then afterwards, she's like, let's drop the sushi at my place, and we'll go get some drinks somewhere, and then we'll come back. So I go, all right, bet. Drop the sushi off. She never comes back downstairs. I'm calling her. She's like, yeah, my roommate's mad. I'm sorry. I got to stay upstairs. I'm like, bring me back my damn sushi. Like, I spent $100. I literally, she's like, save it. She didn't even let me eat 3 pieces of sushi. And then this bitch had the nerve to hit me up on IG. She's like, hey, how you been? I'm like, do I know you? She's like, I'm the sushi thief. I'm like, send me some money right now.
Yeah. You just Venmo'd her instead of responding.
Dude, that's also crazy that she fucking took the sushi. You should have taken it home.
Right. Well, she brought it upstairs. She's like, yeah, we'll leave it upstairs. We'll go get drinks. She never came back down.
He thought he was gonna get to eat it off of her.
What gall, dudes?
Well, that's a perfect transition. You might get. Didn't you tell us that you've been shot before?
I was shot.
Oh yeah,
in the leg.
With what?
A gun.
like a hunting rifle.
So here's the deal. Hunting rifle.
Okay.
So if any
Wedding
of my
crashers.
friends watch this, they love to do this thing where they're like, you didn't get shot by a real gun, blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing. My buddy Frank, I won't say his last name. He's a wanted criminal. He had...
Is he really?
No.
Okay.
But we did go to court for this, which I'll just talk about. But he had a...
Oh, shit.
He had a gun. And by the way, this is a joke that I do on stage. And it's like a 10-minute, but I'm going to try really hard not to do it.
This is where we can elaborate and expand and not,
Yeah.
it's great.
So anyway, my friend Frank said that he had this gun, okay? And again, my other friends like to rag on me that it's not real. Because I guess technically it isn't like a fucking gun. I don't know anything about guns. But
it's like a rifle.
He kills deer with it.
Yeah, it's a rifle.
Yeah.
It's
so
not
I'm like,
yeah.
it's a fucking gun.
It takes life from things.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's a hunting rifle.
Oh, so it's like like not a pellet gun, but like a...
I don't think so. A pellet gun to me is like it bounces off your skin and you go, ow, what the fuck?
There are like an air powered, like an air rifle.
There's a metal bullet in my leg right now.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't just break the skin.
Right.
A little.
There's a metal bullet so deep in the muscle that the doctors were like, we have to leave it in or else you're going to die if we try to take it out.
Holy
So
shit.
to all my friends listening at home,
fuck you.
Fuck you.
Real gun or not, that's
It's
pretty
in my
bad.
leg.
Yeah.
I get an x-ray, you see my wiener and you see the bullet. Okay?
God damn.
So, yeah, my friend Frank, he said that he had a gun. And we were freshmen in high school, so we're 13. And I went to a Catholic school. So so it was private, all boys. And
nice.
It was pretty sick. I'm
not gay no more. I am delivered.
Yeah. That's what you have to say when you graduate from our school.
Yeah.
So I was at his house, and he was just like, none of us believed that he had a gun because he's the kid Frank, good guy, but like he kind of is out of his fucking mind.
Yeah. This is how every after school special starts.
Yeah.
Where someone gets shot in the head and they're like, oh no.
So
They're horrible.
I was at his house, and he was like, since none of you believe me about the gun, do you want to like go see it? Like he wanted to prove to me that he had the gun because he was bragging about this at school for a long time, and none of us like believed him at all. So I was like, yeah, I want to see it, thinking he would just be like, all right, you got me.
Ah, yeah, okay.
He goes, all right. Even though he asked, I thought he would just be like, fuck, I thought you'd say
Yeah.
So we go up to his room, and the story goes that he used it the week before and forgot to turn off the safety.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So when he goes to pull it out, he puts the gun on the bed for some reason. It's this big thing. It's me, him, and his mom. Puts it on the bed, but it's in a case.
Wait, it's you, him, and his mom?
Uh-huh.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
Oh, wow.
Dude.
This is like a real Friday the 13th type of deal.
Yeah, psycho.
By the way, I'm wearing baseball pants because we're getting ready to go to a game. That's why I was at his house. He was driving me to a game.
Oh, my
An
God.
illegal game, by the way. We weren't supposed to, because we were in our high school season, but we were playing for travel ball.
Oh, okay.
We weren't supposed to be doing that.
How'd you play that night?
Not great.
Okay.
I did play 3 days later.
Oh,
That's
shit.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trooper,
And I met Yogi Berra the day after, which is fun.
Oh.
Because of the shooting?
No, just random.
Hello, boy.
Walking down the street, No, it was at Yankee Stadium. But anyway, so he pulls the gun is in a case, and he goes to pull it out, and for whatever fucking reason, I'm standing in front of the barrel. I don't really know why.
It's not your fault. It's his fault.
But as he's pulling it out, I guess he pulled the trigger.
Bro.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, I just heard a bang. I was like, I just heard a sound. And, getting shot, you don't feel it at all.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
what they
have a
say.
frame of reference.
Yeah. I mean, I could shoot you.
I'm good. I could.
That's what they say. They say you
could
gotta
read
fucking
about
check all your shit.
Yeah, you do. You don't know
Am I
you're
leaking?
shot.
Am I leaking?
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I heard the sound. I go, am I leaking?
Yeah.
Miss Frank, am I leaking?
You're like a seal over there, dude.
No, so for real, I heard a noise, and I remember this very vividly. I heard a noise, and I was like, whoa. And I go like this. I'm like, what was that? And then I hear his mom go, oh my God. And then I look down at my leg, and I mean, I'm wearing baseball pants, so it probably spread easier than not, but I mean, there's blood all over.
Oh my God,
my fucking
dude.
leg. All
Holy
over my leg.
shit.
And then this is true. In the joke, I say that they both faint. I believe Frank fainted, and then Mrs. almost said the last name, but she freaks out, starts freaking out, like runs away.
Yo.
like she doesn't help.
Yeah, she's thinking about, she's like, fuck, I am fucked.
She runs to call the ambulance,
Yeah.
but she runs away.
Oh my God.
And I'm 13 years old.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
The only thing that could have been worse for you is if she was just like, we got to put him out of his misery.
Yeah, she's
like I'm a horse.
Yeah, the
Frank,
double
wake
tap.
up. We got to put him down again.
He's no good no more,
We
Frank.
got to double tap him.
God. She's like, TJ, look at my tits. Do you feel better?
She was one of those.
What? Dude, a 13-year-old kid? Who wouldn't want to see that?
At that time, it might have helped. You know?
She's like, don't cry, don't cry.
Yeah, that's like what you do if you get a scrape. And you're like, don't tell your mom. You can't like brush off a bullet wound.
That's what they do in the ER for gunshot wounds.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, bring the nurse in to show her tits.
Nurse Jimenez, another bullet wound victim. And she goes, oh God. And she's pulling out the dollar bills.
We need 2 cc's of double D's. Get on in here.
Better than Vicodin, dude.
Yeah. So Frank faints. She cries and runs away.
Yo.
So I'm like pretty much alone now. And there's blood all over.
Just bleeding
like
out.
all over.
In this kid's childhood bedroom where he masturbates.
Yeah,
God.
probably. And I cover it. I go to the bathroom. I cover it because I cover my bullet hole.
Yeah.
Which is, by the way, right here.
Close to your penis.
Yeah.
Is what I was thinking the whole
my
time.
God. It's like in your thigh.
Oh, yeah.
That like side of your thigh. That's like
Well,
scary.
yeah, because in the
dude.
X-ray, you could legit see my penis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's super scary because
And-
that's where all like those really bad arteries are.
Well, yeah. So part of the joke I used to do, I'd be like, yeah, I got hit right here, which is pretty close. I don't do this part anymore. I go, it's pretty close. And then I move down like to my kneecap. I'm like, could have been right here. Still pretty fucking close. And I keep going down, and then I go, nah, I'm kidding. They said it was missed by a mile.
So honestly, if his mom did try to show her tits to make him feel better, he wouldn't have had any blood to rush to.
I know.
The bullet just would have went.
Yeah, it wouldn't have worked.
Shot out my penis.
It's like a kidney stone, dude.
That's a cum bullet. So she leaves. I cover my leg, hobble to the bathroom, and I grab a towel. And this is 100% true. As I pull my leg off, I don't know why. I don't know the science behind this. But I guess the pressure was so big that it started to like squirt out like a water fountain.
Dude.
Like a water fountain. It was wild.
Yo.
So I grabbed the towel, put it on my thing. Again, I'm by myself. She's gone. He's like crying now on the fucking floor. And I walk down the stairs by myself after just getting shot at 13.
Are you fucking freaking or no? Are you pretty
It's
calm?
kind of like...
Probably like hard adrenaline.
It's
You're just,
like you're kind of like
focused.
survival mode. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, this is what I have to do. When I got a moment to like, because this is what I did. I walked downstairs. I knew that she called 911 at this point, and I sat on the stoops. When I sat on the stoops, I started to lose my hearing in my eyesight. I'm losing so much blood. And that's when I started to freak. And then finally, the
my
EMT
God.
come, and I asked them, I was like, again, I'm 13, so I asked him, I was like, am I going to die? And he, for real, he didn't say it this bluntly, but this is how I say it in the joke, but he did say something like, there's a lot of arteries down there. And I was like, that fucking doesn't help me at all.
Hey, I'm a little boy.
Yeah.
Say no, even
I
if
know.
it's a yes.
He, for real, was just so bluntly like, there's a lot of stuff down there.
Oh,
was like,
my
what?
God. That's terrifying.
I really didn't think I was ever going to die, though.
No.
Not really.
Well, 13, you feel invincible.
You handled that pretty well, though.
I'm telling you, man, like, it's just like survival. You're just like, I have
The way
to.
you were going, I thought you were going to just go full like Anton Chigurh in No Country for Old Men. You're like, then I went into the bathroom, pulled it out, stitched myself up, and
God
and
damn.
then I blew off a bunch of doorknobs.
and shot his mom.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And then I went to a gas station and I was like, heads or tails?
Oh, my God. So what happened?
Let me get these peanuts.
They
What do I
scoop you-
stand to lose?
Everything.
Holy shit.
We're closed. We typically close at dark.
Yeah. You from this town?
Born and raised.
That's sad.
So then so now I'm picked up by the ambulance and then they rushed me to the hospital. Barely cared, by the way. I don't know if they must know. You're like, okay, he's probably fine. He's not losing that much blood. So they're like, not as. But the whole time, everybody seemed to be like, you're fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even the doctor, when he comes in, he goes, so what do we got here? Bullet hole? Or bullet, whatever the bullet wound? Yeah. And I was like, yeah. Pretty serious. And then he goes, all right. And he like does some shit. And he goes, all right, I'll be back.
Like it's like a checkup.
Dude. Well, especially after the guy goes, a lot of arteries down there.
Well, he didn't say like that. He did sign us. He's like, yeah, there's like a lot of stuff, so we just got to make sure you're all right.
Oh,
and I was
my
like,
God. That's
terrifying. Not what you want to tell me.
So you go to the hospital. Now you're in the hospital.
I'm in the hospital. My parents finally come here. Now, my mom, I mean, I told you my mom, she texted me about water consumption earlier. So she is ballistic.
Yeah. Let alone bullish.
Yeah. She goes, how much water do you drink? Is that why you got shot?
Can we get him an IV? He needs some salt.
Not too much, though. Like, make sure that he's fine.
It was squirting out of your thigh like that because you drink too much water.
Yeah. My dad is pissed at the parents.
Oh, yeah, I believe it.
But not as worried, because I'm in the hospital.
Can I say rightfully fucking so?
Yeah,
the best place to be when you get shot.
Yeah,
is a
one of the
hospital.
best. Yeah. So legitimately leave me in a room for 7 hours, and I would say maybe twice in those 7 hours somebody came in. Maybe.
Did they do like when you came in? Are they like rushed to, or you just bring you to a room? Are they doing like a, hey, let's stop the bleeding. We got to get shit in him.
Bleeding was like kind of stopped by then, I believe, because of the people in the ambulance.
Okay.
Yeah, not like on my own. It was like they did some shit.
I wonder what they did.
They rushed me. I think they put me in a room first, and then they took me to an X-ray, and then they brought me back to the room, and then like 6-7 hours later they come back, and the guy just goes legitimately like 6-7 hours, which doesn't seem to make sense, but it was. And then the guy just goes, "Yeah, it's basically just too deep in the muscle. This happens all the time. We just leave it in, so you're free to go."
Oh
that's
my
how
God.
That's how casual it was. He's like, "Yeah, you're good." And I was like, "Oh, I got shot today. I don't know if they told you that."
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, yeah, we're pretty aware. You're fine." I was like,
Jesus.
Is that how that works? You just go?
I have so many follow-up questions.
Go ahead.
One, what
They
happened?
didn't. They had no
Yeah.
follow-up
They had
questions.
zero.
They didn't care.
Unlike the
somebody
doctor,
did.
I have a lot of follow-up questions. One, I want to know about what happened when you went back to school. Did you go to school with this kid?
So, yeah, we did.
And you're like good buddies with him.
No.
Were
Never
you at
was.
the time?
No. He was my ride to a baseball game. He's one of those dudes that you're like, he's just around. He's he's like, it's like a comic that that you're not friends with, really.
Got it. Yeah.
But you're also you don't not like.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, that's fucking this guy, and you talk to him when you see him, and then you go, am I ever gonna hang out with that guy? No. He tried to act like it was an issue that, and granted, to be fair and not be funny here in this moment, like that's probably pretty dramatic for what he did. Like,
oh my God, yeah.
Obviously,
This
way
kid's
more
probably
for me.
real fucked up.
But I am sure he's not like, oops.
Yeah.
And then just walks away. But he wrote me this letter, and in the letter, he's like, why did this have to happen to us? Like, the whole thing was like, I can't believe we went through this. This whole thing taught me that anything is possible, blah, blah, blah.
Not just being like, hey, man, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
What an idiot I was.
So we went back to school. So the craziest thing was, like I said, I went to this private Catholic school, which at that point was like a big deal because people from my town were like, come to the public school to play baseball. And I was like, no, I'm going to go to this other place.
Yeah.
But we were playing our public school in baseball on Monday. This happened on a Friday. We played them on a Monday. So I played in that game and not good. And then I went for like a ball and I basically like extended my leg fully and I just fucked up my leg even more. And then for a month, my leg was like stuck like
Christ.
I was on crutches for like a month.
And then what happened? Like, did you ever talk to the kid again? See him
Yeah,
at
I
school?
talked to him.
Were things normal? Were things weird after that?
Not really.
That's so crazy.
Dude, this is how much of like a pussy I am. My parents, about a week later go, hey, we got a lawyer. We could sue.
Well, I'm assuming were the cops called?
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is like cops,
Yeah,
CPCS, Child Protective Service. So you have two 13-year-olds in, like...
And a mom.
I'm surprised the mom didn't lose custody for a little bit.
She probably was pretty close. They're like a good family. Like the dad's a doctor.
Yeah,
the mom,
very good, but still, dude, you shoot
too
another
bad the
child.
dad wasn't there.
All right, he probably wouldn't have cared.
Just put some ice on it.
Good, you're batting third. My son should bat third.
He's way better than
he is.
Dude,
He's
it
really
probably was a ploy.
good. Yeah, right.
Damn,
Get
dude.
you out of the way.
He was pretty good. We played totally different positions, but like batting order shit. What am I saying?
Your parents were going to sue. We got a
Oh
lawyer.
yeah, but we were freshmen in high school and we had 4 years ahead. And I go, no, I don't want to sue. I don't want it to be weird in the hallways.
Oh, dude, you could have had a nice trust fund.
I don't know how much money I could have made, but I really said that, and I like begged my parents not to do it. Then when I'm in college,
Dude, we're talking at least $1 million.
no,
Yeah.
I'm thinking 50,000.
No,
Was his dad an endocrinologist? Because they make a lot of money.
Diabetes doctors.
I don't
make
know.
a lot
I don't
of
know
money.
what he was.
Dude, yeah, dude, you shoot someone, a child, negligently, maybe $500,000, million. It would have settled. Yeah.
Tell you what, if I sued, I wouldn't be here right now. Yeah, I said no, like a fucking idiot. And then we go to college, and I'm in college, and I'm telling somebody the story, like early, like October of freshman year of college, like probably right after I met the NFL player. And I'm telling somebody, and they're like, "Did you sue?" And I was like, "No." And like, "You should have fucking sued."
Oh.
And I called my parents. I was like, "Let's sue." I was like, immediately, I was like, "Let's just fucking sue." And they go, "You only had till you were 18."
Oh, dude.
So I missed out.
That sucks, dude.
Yeah. We went to court though. I remember going to court.
Fuck. Yeah, it was criminal, I'm assuming.
I think they had it was
something.
They had some probation or some shit. The gun got seized by the state.
Did the kid get in trouble, or was it more the mom?
Don't remember at all.
Damn.
Don't remember, but yeah. Bullet in my leg.
Yeah, he probably pulled the gun out of the case by the trigger.
That's what he did, and that's exactly what happened.
Also, why is he keeping it loaded? Like, what an idiot.
Because he was playing with another friend a week before, and they forgot to do all that bullshit.
Jesus Christ.